All right, home sleases. Over the years, I've coached many contractors with great success, and I've also coached a bunch of them with not so great success. And today on Contractor Fight TV, I'm going to share with you the three main things that I see that prevent contractors from having success with business coaches. Let's call him Joe. He signed up for business coaching. He was all excited and gung-ho to get his company out of debt, make more money, get some systems in place. Came out of the gate hard, worked together for about 6 months, and then he just disappeared. At the end of those 6 months, there was no change in his business. None. He was in the same spot, and quite honestly, he wasted his money. Then there's Sam. Not his real name, but we'll call him Sam. In the same 6-month period, he came out of the gate enthusiastic like most people do. And at the end of 6 months, he put an additional $120,000 in his pocket from what he made the previous 6 months. And he also paid off over $50,000 worth of debt. In the same 6 months. These are just two examples, guys, but I've learned working with hundreds of contractors and, well, thousands when you talk about our group programs and things like that and the things we do all over. I've learned how to spot who's going to be successful and who's not going to be successful. And today I want to share with you, I'm going to share the three main killers of successful coaching. Maybe you're watching this right now and this is your coaching. That's great. This is free. We got a lot of free stuff for contractors on our podcast, Contractor Fight Podcast, Contractor Fight TV right here, social media, our Facebook groups. Guys, there's so much stuff out there that you could literally consume it, put it into practice, and be better off for it. And maybe that's what you're doing. Maybe you're considering hiring a coach or a mentor. Doesn't have to be us here in the contract, but if I be anybody. But these are three big things that I see that hijack contractors from having a successful coaching relationship. Number one is there's no clarity of an outcome. This kills you right out of the gate, right out of the starting blocks, you're hosed. Without a clear target, it's hard to win. I'll ask people, well, what do you want? They're like, I want my business to get better. I said, well, define better. Well, I don't know. I haven't thought about it. Okay, well, until we know what better is and we put a target on that thing, we're going to have a hard time getting you the success that you want in your head. No clarity also looks like this. You're trying to change too many things at once. One of our concepts here in the fight is let's hit one nail in at a time. And that's why it's so important to get clarity. That's why we take people through a process to really dial down to what is that first domino? What is that one thing, the one nail, the one big rock, okay, that if we take care of that thing, it's going to affect a lot of other things. Because it's very, very hard to have a clarity of outcome when we're trying to address my marketing, my sales, my production, and this and that. Sure, most things need some attention, but there's really got to be one nail that you're going after. I want to encourage you with that. Get clear on that. Third thing about clarity of outcome here is you got to have KPIs in place to measure the business. KPI stands for Key Performance Indicators. Okay? When you don't have a scoreboard, when you don't have metrics that you're looking at on a regular basis, it's going to be really hard to know if you're headed in the right direction. And this is all part of having that clarity of outcome. Second thing that kills success for contractors in business coaching is they do very little implementation. It's simply not doing what you already know to do. In fact, right now you could pause this video, probably write down 15 things that you know you've needed to do. I need to get some QuickBooks set up. I need to hire a bookkeeper. I need to call my past customers. I need to write a blog post. I need to charge, proper rates for my work. I need to have that tough talk with this employee. Guys, all of us could write down a list of shit that we have to do, but it's this implementation, lack of implementation, that kills us. So I want to encourage you, before you hire a coach, before you find a mentor, before you do it, just do the shit that you already know you're supposed to do. Part of this lack of implementation is we're all always looking for the next new shiny thing, the next bit of knowledge. We consume another podcast. We consume another video like this, looking for the one golden nugget of knowledge. If I look in the football world, guys, you look at in sports, baseball, Okay? You got to block, you got to tackle. In baseball, you got to get on base. You got to feel a ground ball. It's the fundamentals in anything that really make or break you. There's very little new shit that's happening. There'll always be a new tactic, always be a new platform or a new app or whatever, but the fundamentals of business, man, you got to, if something costs you $1, charge at least $2. Okay? Like, that's never going to change. So stop looking for more knowledge and implement what you already know. When you don't implement consistently, you're not able to build on that level. So every time you implement something, it's like you're putting another brick on the wall. And then you understand things a little differently now because you've been implementing. And now you can build upon that, build upon that, and build upon that. So if you want to stop killing your success with a business coach or mentorship, all right, make sure you're clear on your outcomes. Make sure you are implementing the shit that you know to do. Third thing I see, and I don't know, this may be the most important. I don't want to necessarily make any one of these more important than the other, but if I had to pick one, it might be this one. And that's that you're still hanging around the same community of people you were hanging out with before. We become who we hang out with. Who you hang with matters 100%. If you're trying to learn new things and implement new things, if you set these goals, you have clarity, and you're implementing, but you're still hanging around a bunch of morons, and quite frankly, that's what most contractors do. We hang out with other broke contractors. We hang out with guys that are charging the going rate for their work. We're getting advice from people that don't make any fucking money, don't have any balance in their life. They're shitty leaders. They don't know how to sell. They don't know how to market. And all they do is criticize. When you continue to hang around these people, it's the same thinking and you're going to continue to be stuck. This is often, like I said before, this is often the biggest factor that I see is people will have this knowledge, but they don't have the support system that's needed in order to succeed. I was sharing a story with somebody just last night at dinner that the turning point in my life was when I started getting in a room with people that were way more successful than me, way smarter than me. And guys, way smarter doesn't mean like 20 laps ahead. It means he might be 20 yards ahead on the track because he knows more than me. And I want to encourage you that if you don't have a strong community of people who are committed to the same things and growth that you are, you're going to have a hard time being successful in any coaching relationship. Team is incredibly important. So as we wrap this up, guys, there's many ways to get help. Like I said, mentors, coaches, free stuff, whatever. Before you bash a coaching program that didn't work for you, look in the mirror and just go, did I get clear? Did I implement? And did I work hard to have a community? Now, if there's a coaching program out there that doesn't provide those things for you, then certainly it's the wrong program. But oftentimes, I think there's value in almost every coach that's out there. And you got to be a good fit for people and all that good stuff, right? But the bottom line here, guys, look in the mirror. And when you do, great things are going to come. In fact, I often find, and I don't know where it fits into this, but people also have a really hard time committing and having success with a coach. And they don't implement and they don't do the things here because they're really afraid at the end of the day they're not going to do the work. And so they kind of half-ass it and make excuses. So hopefully that's not you. We have a free community for you over on Facebook. We'll put the link in here. Hit the link. And if not, it's a free group. Just get in there, introduce yourself, own your crap, and ask questions, give some of the knowledge that you have, all right? And be a giver. And when you're a giver, and I'm a giver, and they're a giver, our needs are met. And good things happen. So let's at least get you in the right community right now, people that give a shit about business and about growth and those things. And when you do, I promise some good stuff is going to rub off. You guys rock. I got to roll. We'll see you next time.